In this video, we will take a look at an object-oriented programming concept called composition. To explain that, we need to create two classes, a class called engine and a class called car. Let's start with the engine class. So right here, I'll say class called engine, like this, and this class called engine will have a private data member, which will be the engine type. So string engine type, like V8, V10, and so on. Now here in public, I will create the public functions that we need for this class. First of all, we need the constructor. We know that a constructor is called automatically as soon as you create a class, and it is used to initialize the data member. So I'll receive a engine type, a string of engine type. And right here, I will go ahead and assign the input given to the data member. So I'll say this engine type equal to engine type, which is the parameter, like this. And the this right here is the this pointer. It represents the object of the class engine. So right here, if I create an engine object, the this pointer is a pointer that points to this object that I created. So right here, you're saying that you are using the this pointer to access the data member of the object and assign the parameter given. Okay, so this is the this object, or excuse me, the this pointer. Make sure to check out this video if you want more detail about the this pointer. Now right here, I'm going to create a simple get function. I'll say string like this, get engine type like this, okay? And this will simply return this engine type, so the engine type of the object, okay? And so this is the engine class. Let's go ahead and create the car class. So down here, and I forgot a semicolon right here. Okay, so right now I'm going to say class car, and this is where we will introduce the concept of composition. So right here, I will have three private data members. So first of all, it will be the car name, string car name like this, car name, okay? Next, it will be the release date, so release date like this. And after this, what it will be is that I will have an engine object, so engine like this. And right here, this is called composition. And composition also is called has a relationship. And so this is where a class like car will have one or more data members that have a type like engine, or a type that we created, not a built-in type, okay? And so what happens here is that the car class, or when I create a car object, this car object will be called the container class, or the container object. And this data member right here is called the contained object because it is inside the container. Okay, and right now the car class is responsible for the lifetime of this data member, meaning when the car object is destroyed or killed by the destructor, this object will be destroyed also. So now it is, if you want, dependent to the car class right here. So again, when the car object, for example, is destroyed, the engine object will be destroyed also. So this is what I mean by dependent to the car class, okay? And so right now, let's go ahead down here and create some public functions or methods. So I'll go ahead and here I'll create a car constructor which will initialize my car object. I will receive a string car name, an int release date for my car, and a string of engine type. And watch what I'm going to do right now. So for the others, they will be very simple. I'll say this car name equal to car name. So I'm assigning to the data member car name of the object, I'm assigning this parameter. Very simple. Now I'll do the same thing for the release date. So I'll assign to it the release date, which is the parameter given by the constructor. Now what I should do with this object right here, how could I assign to it the engine type? So what I want to do here is that I want to initialize this object. So what I'm going to do after the constructor is I'm going to add this double points, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to say engine. This is the data member right here. I will open and close parentheses, and inside of it I will pass engine type, the string engine type. What this will do is that it will call the constructor engine and it will initialize the engine type, or it will initialize the object, okay? Now let's go ahead and inside this container class we'll create a void get car info, for example, a get car info function. What this will do is it will print first of all car name, which is this car name like this. After this, I'm going to print, for example, the release date. So release date like this, and we'll say this release date like this, okay? After this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to display the engine type. So I'll say engine type like this, And what I will do is I will access the data member called engine, which is an engine object. And because it is an engine object, I could use the dot notation to access the built-in, or excuse me, to access this function, get engine type right here. And I'll use it to get the engine type, which is the string engine type right here. And now let's consider that this is our car object, okay? And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to say my car dot get car info like this. Let's see what will happen. So after calling the function of my car, this is our output. So the car name is Audi R8, the release date is 2022, and the engine type is V10. And so this is it. This is composition. It is when a car class, or for example, a class like car, could have a data member that is of another type. It could have one or more data members that are of different type. For example, engine. This is a type that we created. And so this is composition, or has a relationship. This is what it's called also, has a relationship. Okay, then this is it for composition in C++ object-oriented programming. Make sure to subscribe to stay up to date for the next C++ tutorial video. So I hope to see you in the next video.